pray you give us wisdom and knowledge to take care of the business for the citizens of Jacksonville. In the name of Jesus, we ask and pray, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to City of Jacksonville City Council meeting, January 8th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deeds. Here. Rudebold.
Here.
Gary. McCoy. Here. Ray.
Here.
LeBron.
Here.
Moss.
Here.
Whitty.
Here.
Kinman. Here. Mims.
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone present, sir.
All right, thank you very much. We are all here. Before you have in your packets the minutes from our December 4th meeting. Be reviewing those for our next week for approval, but at this time, we will entertain a motion to accept the minutes from our November 20th meeting. We got a motion and a second. All in favor of accepting the minutes as presented to you, please let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? Moving forward, the consent agenda, you have that.
Move the consent agenda in its entirety.
All right, have a motion to accept it and a second. All in favor of acceptance of the consent agenda as presented, please let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? Thank you very much. First item of business tonight, coming from Planning Commission, is ordinance 1806, reclassifying 1305, 1307, 1309, and 1311 Lemack Drive from R1A to R4. Entertain a motion to place ordinance 1806 on first reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deeds.
Aye.
Rudebold.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy. Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1806, an ordinance reclassifying property in the city of Jacksonville, Arkansas, amending ordinance numbers 213 and 238 in the land use map of the city of Jacksonville, Arkansas, and for other purposes. And I would like to add, Adam asked me to include an emergency clause. I know it's not on here, but I can provide that to Susan if it's approved by the council.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Any discussion, questions on ordinance 1806?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell us why the R1A, what is that, and R4? Can you explain that?
Adam, do you mind coming up, please? Mr. Whitlow.
So these are both single-family residential zonings. The R4 is actually what we utilize for what we would call zero lot line development. This is kind of unique, a situation for a rezone. The applicant had a situation where he had a foreman that got off on his building pads, built structures too close to the lines. So we was looking at mechanisms to use to cure the situation. So it was either a slew of variances, or with a simple rezone, we could make it all conforming conditions. Those conditions did come with a contingency at the Planning Commission of he had to, because of the proximity of the structures to each other, he had to either increase firewalls or put in a residential sprinkler system, to which that's what he chose to do. So that contingency has been met. Fire Marshal Mike and Manny Browder, my building inspector, met earlier this week and signed off on those. So he's met that contingency. So that's why this is a little bit unusual situation where it is, but that's essentially the difference between the two. Is the R4A, although both single family residential, it allows for a smaller, a narrower lot, and it allows for the structure to be closer to the property line.
So in reality, the houses were too close together, right?
Right, the
So we
houses
had
were
to
too
change
close
it.
together. So we had the option, our applicant had the option to either ask for a variance, request for a variance from the lot width and a variance from the setback.
Well, is that something we should have caught before they've gotten that far with the homes? I mean, how often is an inspector going out?
Well, our inspectors aren't licensed surveyors, so our building permits exclusively say that the position of the structure is solely on the builder. So this was caught, so the function of the building was fine, the inspector, to the inspector. Where it was caught was when he got ready to sell and he's getting appraisals and the banks required a final as-built, and the surveyor came out and said, hey, you're built too close to the line, did you get a variance on these? So that prompted him to come to us, and so we worked with the applicant about different mechanisms to cure the situations.
So going forward, is that something that we can catch, so we don't have to?
We don't have, the only one that's technically licensed to delineate property relative to property boundaries is a licensed surveyor. So you have the option to add that cost in the code. It's not cheap. We're seeing it on my end on a lot more from the lenders and stuff are requiring slab certifications and things like that. But to this point, we put that responsibility on the builder. Of course, if it's obvious in the field to our inspectors, he'll bring it up. But when you're at the foundation level, it's hard to see where you're at property line wise. So the only way, I've looked at this with other cities, the only way to truly absolutely address it is you got to require each builder to provide a slab certification with a licensed surveyor before we allow them to move to the next phase. And that surveyors aren't cheap, and they're hard to get and hard to find. So you are talking about some considerable cost and time potentially there. So would certainly advocate for it one way or another, but this is kind of unusual. I mean, we don't have this happen a whole lot. I've never seen a lot of variance issues of this nature in Jacksonville. This was just a case where the builder was kind of down sick or something to that effect, had a superintendent that he trusted, and the superintendent didn't do what he was supposed to do. And shifted up.
In this instance?
Right. That's exactly what happened here. That's what, and the applicant is here tonight too to represent anything, if y'all have any questions for him, but that's what was represented at the Planning Commission.
So Adam and Mary, these are single-family residences. There's
Right.
a lot of these smaller lots now. Cersei just opened some areas up because the lots are too small. They're taking lots that were really going to be hard to build on to get somebody to do something. So the builder come in, he did make a mistake, he's admitted that, I looked at it, Adam did, we had the fire chief out there, everything meets what they need to do. And I feel like personally that it's a great deal for Jacksonville. We got some more new construction, not rentals, as you would say. We can't stop them either way, but it's a good looking project over there. And we can put on there that if it happens again, which is what we did to one not too long ago, that we would not approve it. Once we give them a notice, we do not have to approve it again.
Okay.
And that's what they've been doing in other cities. Because I personally had one that I got a new survey on. The house had been there since 1960. And I had to get a variance because they had built it over the front setback line.
Okay.
Hey, Adam, the time that it happened before, is it the same builder, same person?
It's the same. No, it was a different scenario.
It's the first time he's ever had this.
Yeah. This is the side setbacks and stuff. The most common thing that happens is new builders will sometimes measure the front setback variances are what we have happen a lot. Sometimes, or not a lot, but occasionally someone will think they had to measure from the street improvements. Street has no bearing on the property boundary. The street may be anywhere within the 50-foot right-of-way or whatever. The other times that we have variances that are truly justified hardships is existing non-conforming lots. Sunnyside has a ton of existing non-conforming lots with utility easements that cut all which ways. So builders do their best to get a footprint to fit on there, but those are the other cases that are legitimate hardships and stuff.
How far off of the variance are they? How far off are they? Are a couple of feet?
They progressed from like 4 feet to 3 feet to it from where the measuring point was. It got off. So where they're at now, they're conforming. So that's why we don't technically like to grant a whole lot of variances, if, you know, you set precedences and there's hardships. That's why we felt, and the applicant felt, and the staff agreed that a rezone was the appropriate mechanism to cure this situation. Because we didn't set a precedence by granting a bunch of variances. We simply were able to rezone and make them conforming by allowing a slightly smaller.
But if we
lot.
rezone, are they able to do something different than what they already initially planned to do versus just building right on the
No, it
property line?
doesn't change. So these are both single-family residences.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this was the case where the residences were already constructed. So the character and the nature is set here. So they couldn't go in and tear one down and say, oh, now we got the ability to build multifamily. No, it's the same character of construction. I mean, to most of us, the visual inspection, I mean, where you should have 10 feet between the structures, now you have 8 feet between the structures. Most of us wouldn't even perceive that visually, but it's critical when surveyors and title companies and stuff get involved and stuff. So
Okay.
if
So on those, where those homes are, if they were to lean out, they couldn't touch one another, is it that kind of close?
no,
It's not, okay. And so for
right.
our
Unless you got really
solution-
long arms.
Yeah, okay. So
There's some
for our
basketball players I've
solution
seen
for
that probably
this,
could.
We have them to install sprinklers,
Correct.
okay, and that's been done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what we lean on. I mean, the reason we have a 5-foot side setback anyway is because that's what fire code says. And in this case, they encroached on that, and so they had to cure that mechanism before we had even consider, you know, the rezone, and the planning commission made that stipulation, the contingencies, and the applicant has done that at considerable cost to himself, by the way. You know, it's but at the end of the day, I think he's got a good house that he's ready to put on the market, and needs this to go forward.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. So entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1806 on first reading and suspend the rules in place on second reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1806 on second reading and suspend the rules in place on third and final. We have motion
Second.
and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1806 on this date. Motion and second. Roll call.
Turn right, then turn
Oh,
left on Municipal Drive.
sorry, we were trying to find out where this was at.
Councilmember Deets.
On military. Yeah.
It's off South Road.
South.
Councilmember Deets. Rupel.
It's right up there with reading.
Cleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, then entertain a motion to attach the emergency clause to this.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
Cleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. 1806 is therefore enacted. Brian and Sean, would y'all please double check to make sure that this is live streaming?
We're working on the live streaming part. It is recording, so we can
Okay.
upload it after the meeting, but right now,
That's fine.
there's something back there has gotten stupid.
Okay, that's
I think
fine.
it's
I was
YouTube at this point.
notified about it, so thank you.
Yeah.
So it will be up. Yeah, for those of you who are attempting to watch this, it will be on
Yeah,
later
I
on.
just got it.
Yeah,
So
most of the
just,
viewers are
you'll
in
have to
here.
wait till we're done.
Hey,
By that
Mr.
time, you won't know anyway.
Before we move on from the planning commission, since we're talking about that, quick question. So once the planning commission approves or disapproves something, who's responsible following to ensure that what has been decided is carried out? Who's responsible?
That would be our inspector.
Okay.
Panhandle.
So the engineer office or the code, so that falls under the engineering office. And another thing I want to say while we're talking planning commission, I don't know if many of you've gone up and down Main Street to see that chain link fence that was around that building for the longest, so thank y'all for getting that taken down. I was sick of seeing it, but it looks so much better now. Thanks, Jim and team.
All right, moving on. Now we have Dana Nixon, Property and Drainage Ditches and Bridges, sponsored by Councilmember McCoy. Ms. Nixon.
I really don't want to have to be here. It was 7 months ago that I was here, and we went over everything that was a problem with the drainage ditches on our property, and I was assured that it would be taken care of. And the only thing that's happened in 7 months is that it got mowed once in September, which meant that the entire summer I couldn't get down the ditches because I couldn't see where they were. The grass was 8 feet tall. And we've had some rock put in erosion on the south side west of the low water bridge. The bridge has not been stabilized. It's changing the ditch channel, so it's eroding hugely to the north, and it's going to cut out the one access that we have to the north 60 acres on that side. So I've been trying, and I haven't gotten anything done. And we've had these easements in effect since 1981. This is the first time we've ever had such a problem getting things maintained. And it's dangerous to us, it's dangerous to our visitors, it's dangerous to the city because we can't get any emergencies vehicles to the back. If those forests catch on fire, we've got neighborhoods all around now that were not there necessarily in 1981, but I can't do anything about that. So I'm asking, I can stabilize this, and our city engineer said, well, the weather caught us. Well, it hasn't rained in months. It is not a wet season, but it's going to be. One of these days, it's going to start raining again, and the ruts are going to all fill up, and the channel is going to cut more. So my proposition is that I buy the gravel and stabilize this, working with Tommy Bond, who has looked at it and given us some ideas, and that the city come in next year and redo the drainage, the low water bridge and the front drainage ditch, and build one in the back where there's nothing. So, but that would authorize me to buy rock and get Tommy Bond to come in and put a pipe under the drainage ditch and then do some slurry and riprap and stabilize it for the winter. I'm perfectly willing to do that. We would have to hire somebody to fill in the ruts with the gravel. I mean, it'd be a few $1,000s for that. I don't know what Tommy would charge for putting in a pipe and doing riprap, a few $1,000s. But I mean, y'all told me 7 months ago it would be taken care of, and it hasn't been. And it just gets worse. And I've tried communicating, and I don't get anywhere. So can we just let me handle this? And then next year come in and do the bridges?
Adam, can you mind coming up again, please?
Absolutely.
You don't want to share the mic,
Or Adam can take
or
it.
Adam can come to the table, yeah.
That way you don't conduct from her. Separate.
Sure. Well, in short, you know, we've had a lot of communication with Ms. Nixon. I mean, the city, Public Works, we have no issues performing maintenance on the waterway. I mean, it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. It's a very large waterway. It's something the city needs an easement for because it does carry so much of the city's water to the east of town. I have no problems with trying to get the low water bridge stabilized. But we have a little different agreement, view of what we can and when we can.
He has suggested that we have an access from Oak Street, which would require me going toward Graham all the way down to Oak Street, all the way to the back and clearing another path. And it doesn't give us access to the back property. And the agreement with the easement says that we would always have vehicular access to all the properties. That's not solution. The city engineer has also said, well, we don't have an easement to get to the ditches. Well, of course you have an easement. You have an implied easement of necessity by verbal agreement that has been given to the city for 50 years. It's not going to be in writing. We're not going to give you a subservient easement over the pipeline easement. We can't do that. But you always have an easement of necessity to get back there. So
I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, so Adam and I met with the mayor and we discussed the verbal agreement. We were unable to find anything in writing, but we would prefer to have something in writing.
No, I don't have any problem, but I am not going to give, I will give an easement of necessity. And that can go down either the left side or the right side of the pipeline. But we're not going to give meets and bounds descriptions in this. We are not going to grant any sort of permanent easement.
And that's not the reason why we have not engaged in, I've had correspondence and stated, I appreciate you granting us, permissive rights to access this. It's simply resources. This is a major waterway. We city crews don't have the knowledge, expertise.
They've taken care of it for 50 years. This is the first few years.
The bridge has never been touched in 40 years. It's the bridge, the low water bridge that we're talking about specifically, that we've always maintained. There has been no maintenance.
And that's what deferred maintenance does. It's cost a lot more when it gets finally comes due.
Where is the documentation or agreements between the Nixon family, the property?
Oh, y'all have got all of those.
And the city that talks about what will happen or what? Because I have not seen any of that.
Oh, well, he has them all.
Well,
and
let me finish, please. I have seen and read through the documents of two easements, one for 25 foot and then one for 50 foot, but it does not mention or specify what will be carried out with that.
No, we have written agreements that were signed by the city that also say you will maintain 3 bridges. You only have 1 left, and so I'm perfectly happy to deal with 2.
Mr. Willett, do you have those documents that state that?
The only thing I have is letters prepared by Mr. Owens, who was the engineer at the time in '82, to Miss Nixon, saying something that there was one handwritten, I guess, kind of an initial, here's what we want to do. We want to build a 300-foot ditch along the railroad. And then there was a more formal letter written, presumably after the easement's granted. Miss Nixon, I believe we're now complete with the construction of the bridges we told you we would do in exchange for the easements. And just as a matter of point, we do plan to continually maintain these. It was a simple statement that I don't read that as an agreement. But once again, I'm not an attorney. And I'm not. That's never been a point of contention with me or any of the reasons why we haven't been out there. We have, from according to I've only been here 3 years. I wasn't here in '82, but my current street superintendent, who's been here 16 years. He said, as far as he knew, they had always mowed and maintained. So early conversation with Ms. Nixon, I was very specific. I said, what's your expectations? Just because I want to know. She kind of kept it in the gray. So I said, well, here's what we're prepared to do. Here's what I normally think we should and would do. We would make 2, our goal is to not to have a manicured area, but to have the drainage way passable, flowing water, and manageable. So we typically do 2 to 3 mowings, brush hoggings per year, where we'd make pass down and a pass back on each side and run the side boom mower to kind of get the embankment. I absolutely agree that the low water crossing that she's referring to, I got pictures of it. I sent Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond and I's ideas, designs were the same. The level of the creek has lowered over the years, eroded down, and as such, eaten out underneath what was the low water bridge where water flowed over the top of, presumably, where it has that cavity underneath it. We'd like to see some kind of culvert where water can continue to maintain, because we can't really raise the level, the flow line of the creek. And stabilize it. I said, put a culvert under there, one or two culverts, and then pour concrete in. Mr. Bond said, put some larger riprap with concrete slurry. It's the same process. You still got to get concrete trucks back to the area over and across Miss Nixon to where an area we don't have an easement for and don't have expectations.
That's just not true. You have a verbal right of necessity. And I just got concrete trucks and gravel trucks to build a subdivision back there so that the assertion that we can't get trucks back there is just not correct. And in any event, you can do small concrete trucks. I'm not asking for that right now. I'm asking for the authority from the city to buy gravel and get reimbursed and take care of these ruts that were supposed to be filled in and to stabilize this so you can get to it next year. And the suggestion that there's not a contract, in 1981, the way cities, Jacksonville, did business, they got a formal easement, and then they had side agreements to maintain and to give the property owners vehicular access. I mean, it's unreasonable to think that we would say, and I wasn't here, so you're not dealing with me in 1981. It's unreasonable to think a property owner would say, sure, put 2 giant ditches through my property and cut off the access to the back 100 acres. I mean, that's unreasonable. So we do have side agreements that are not included on the easement, but they're there and they were signed by the owners in the city. So, I mean, you owe an obligation of maintenance and you owe an obligation of providing us as owners access to the property. And I mean, come on, people.
Well, I will say that, no, let me say something, Councilor Ripple, 1 second. I will say this, as far as handshake deals and verbals, those days are over.
Well, they are over, and we can put that in writing, but.
Let me finish too. When I became mayor here 3 years ago, part of what I've been doing for those 3 years is cleaning up previous messes, not from any one person, but things that have happened throughout the years and so forth. Lots of handshake deals and things of this nature. And that's not going to continue.
These were not handshake deals. These were written documents
Just a while ago,
that are.
You said handshake deal.
No, I did not. I said they were written documents signed by the city and the owner. That's not a handshake deal. They're in writing. It says maintain.
Can you please provide those to
I've
us?
provided them to him, but I will provide it.
Provided to Adam is not just, you're not.
And I think I gave them to
describing
Stephanie too, so.
So, yeah, I did want to clarify, the letter from the city engineer back in the 80s to you or A. Nixon, basically was just confirmation that the bridge construction was complete and that the city would continue to maintain the ditches. There hasn't been a document that I've seen that's discussed the city would maintain the bridge. So if you have that, I think we would
That's what
benefit
we
from
would be glad to do.
Sure,
all of this.
sure.
We need those documents.
But how long will it take you to decide that? Because I try to communicate with you all and I never get an answer.
That's a stretch. I have answered you when you have reached out to me.
I reached out a week and a half ago. I didn't get a response. I reached out.
You reach out to me. I don't have an email from you. I don't have a missed call.
I brought it to your desk.
Okay, I was
And Stephanie, I sent December 4th both a voicemail to her office and an email to her office address. I got no response, which is why I hand carried a letter to you January 1st or whenever it was. Okay. And left one for her that Michelle said she would deliver to Stephanie. But I've heard nothing back from either.
I can't speak on behalf of another director for the work that they will or will not do, but we've had meetings about it, and it's been my understanding that they've been in pretty constant communication with you regarding this.
It took till September after you all agreed to do this to get it mowed. It was mowed once last year, this 2 or 3 times a year. Used to be once last year. We finally got, and you couldn't fix the erosion washes and gullies until you got it mowed because you couldn't see where they were. So after that, then we got some rock done. And he said, we took 2 truckloads of gravel for her to work with. Well, I built subdivisions. I know what truckloads of gravel look like. This was not even as tall as this table. It was like 2 wheelbarrows of gravel. And it was put up against a tree, so we only had access from one side. And if you try to scoop it, it pushed it against the trees. There has not been much positive working with.
Councilor Rupel, you were going to say something?
Yeah, my question is, it seems that Ms. Nixon is here tonight asking for the council to grant permission for her to go ahead with an $11,000 purchase for gravel of some sort. Do we have that? We can't grant that, can we? Is that something that just needs to be done behind in an office with Adam and his department?
Yeah,
and it's not
any
11.
Cost sharing has to be done in accordance with city purchasing procedures. So I have participated in cost sharing in other cities where private-public partnership. And to get back to that point, I don't have any issues trying to work with Ms. Nixon, and I've been in communication with Mr. Bond discussing ideas on this. But this is kind of call it miscommunication on my part or whatever you want to call it. Ms. Nixon asked for gravel. We provided gravel.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy with the gravel.
It wasn't enough.
I will try to compensate. If you want more, we can provide more. But I don't think she's going to be happy with the results. And I've tried to relay that too. She's owned and loved this property for years. And I understand that it's a home property. I can never make my crews see this property and take the care and that she does. And what I can do is they can take the same care and maintenance of this ditch as they would any other ditch. That may not be to her, and that's why.
Don't make me sound like I'm being unreasonable.
No,
I want enough gravel.
expectations.
I want enough gravel to fill the ruts. That's a measurable amount, and what they brought wouldn't fill one rut. And
I have tried.
Was there follow-up to ask for that additional gravel?
She followed up and said, well, the first load wasn't enough. I called and said, well, bring her another load.
But they didn't.
Hey, Adam, how much gravel are we talking about?
I don't know how many yards. It
yards?
was one of their smaller trucks because we are careful going across the gas right away because we do not have an easement across there, so we do not have a specific
But you didn't.
easement.
Nobody talked to me about where to put it. All we had to do was put it at the front. You didn't even have to go on the pipeline. I didn't say put it by the ditch. It wasn't for the ditch. It's for the ruts
There
down.
was specific communication, I said, because you called that into question, but where it's easy. So I sent you an aerial photo with the dot by the low water bridge in that corner. Now,
But
I'll be
it had
honest with you,
already
I
been.
don't know if they put it there or not. I didn't get that.
It had already
confirmation.
been placed there. Nobody contacted me about bringing the gravel in.
All right,
So the solution for this is we're going to get the easement granted for for what Stephanie asked for, and then Adam and team will work with you to ensure that you get the amount of gravel that you need. I think the reason why she wanted to come is because of maybe the lack of follow-up and follow-through on whomever's part it may be. So I'm glad that you came so that we can at least move forward with a plan of action, which is to complete what Stephanie's asked of you.
Well,
to work within.
but it's out of my pocket that I'm gonna take the gravel and,
No, I think Adam's gonna
not
work
necessarily.
with you to get the gravel to you.
Yeah, we
That
are
way,
happy to continue
yeah,
to provide you.
We're gonna
well,
gravel.
but I have to take my tractor and hire my people to fill, I mean, you know, come on, people, it's only a one-shot deal, and it's not $11,000. That's to rebuild the bridge. It's like $2,000 to get gravel and put it in the ruts and buy the bridge to stabilize that. The $11,000 is rebuilding the bridge, so.
And Ms. Nixon, whether it's through miscommunication of my own or misinterpretation of what I am happy. I will provide you pin flags. If you show us where you want the gravel, I'll be happy. But obviously, to this point, I have not. It is. I'm unsure
Okay,
what you're
I will be
wanting.
delighted.
And we met out there and we took pictures, and we thought we addressed everything that we took pictures of.
Not the ruts on the pipeline that the city equipment made.
See, and that's where I have a sticky point.
There is no other equipment that goes down the side of the pipeline but the city. And it hasn't been recent, it's been 5 or 6 years. The pipeline people do never get on the side. They mow right down the middle. And I don't have equipment that makes giant ruts like that. And it's, you know, I've griped about this for years. And
But you've had tractors of your own maintain it in the past.
No, I haven't. I haven't had a tractor on the pipeline until this year. I don't maintain that.
All right, bottom line, at this point, we need
Just-
the documentation to go forward. And as Mr. Willow has admitted willingness to provide the service that is needed, but we need signed documentation.
I need
of
clear
access
direction,
right.
expectations. I mean, this is far beyond what I would typically do for a property owner. I mean, it's our ditch. We know how to maintain ditches, but if there's specific ruts that we need to address, like I said, Ms. Nixon contacted me and said, I've got tractors working. If you provide some gravel, I'll be glad. So we provided that. I will continue to work with that. Like I said, I have no.
I don't want to have to
Ms. Nixon. Ms.
spend my
Nixon's a
money
lovely
to
person.
maintain this. I have to spend a lot of money to maintain everything else, but I don't have to maintain city ruts and city ditches. So if you want to bring gravel, fine, but if I have to use my people to spread it, then I need to be reimbursed for their hourly rate. And it's a one-shot deal. I mean, I'm assuming once we get this taken care of, they're not gonna tear it up anymore. And then
Well,
next year,
once we clarify access
next year we
and-
can deal with the low water bridge that still exists and rebuild, which you promised me you would do, rebuild the one in the back that's completely gone.
I'm gonna ask this, when was a promise made to rebuild that other bridge?
When they came last year, September.
We looked at the bridge, so it's currently a crossing, so wasn't intended to do it with concrete. There was some kind of a riprap bottom to it now. It's a crossing that was apparently used at one time to get on to the other side to mow and maintain the ditch. I mean, the crossings were put in, I've never seen anything that said these were intended for the property owner to have access and was exchanged. I mean, they're for us to get on the other side to mow the ditch. But yes, and we looked at the other one and we're gonna try to repair it to a point where a tractor could cross.
A tractor and a pickup truck would be good. And a fire,
I don't know that
and a
you
fire
have-
engine. I mean, you've got, you
But
know,
fire engines will never access via
that
these
would-
bridges.
then you've got a bunch of property you can't protect.
Absolutely.
Yeah. and
Any undeveloped property,
that's gonna
the
be
fire
big
truck, it
other
doesn't have a
places
fire
too.
apparatus access road to it.
Hey, Chief, what's the average weight of one of the fire trucks?
75,000 pounds.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't do that. So-
And I don't want to take up your time, but I want this maintained. And it's gotten worse and worse, and it's
I do
I
not know
thought
what happened
people's
prior
word
to
meant
me.
something, but evidently it doesn't anymore, and I'm really tired of that.
All right, well, we will take all of this under advisement now. We will work to get the documents signed that we need signed to get.
And when will we need gravel in the next week because it's gonna start raining eventually. We've got 2 more weeks of no rain, so they say. And if we can get it in the next week, then we could at least get the ruts filled so we don't have to go through giant mud holes all winter.
Are you okay with it being placed at the Graham side of the gas pipeline right away? Is that more convenient than at the bridge?
Yeah, well, actually in the middle would be better, because that way they could go both ways. But it's gotta be, I mean, what you all brought me was not even this Dias amount of gravel. And that's
We're not
not,
gonna take heavy loaded dump trucks across gas, soft ground on gas right away.
I'm not
We're
asking
not
you
gonna
to,
take
I am
excessive
not
risks.
asking you to cross the pipeline. You can come in the driveway off of Brigham Road. I will give you a temporary passage there, and you can dump it just on the pipeline so you don't have to go across the pipeline. I'm not asking you to take giant trucks across gas pipelines. We know better than that.
All right, well, at this point in time, I think we have hashed this as much as it can be, without being repetitive now.
No, this is repetitive, and am I gonna get gravel in a week?
I'll coordinate with my street superintendent. We should be able to accommodate that.
Okay.
Is what weather permitting.
Right, it's gonna rain, but you know, where she's asking for it, it's not
Or
too-
I
not
can
too
buy
far
it,
off of
I can
paving.
buy it at the same price the city will and be reimbursed.
No, we'll do the work on that. Yeah, we'll take care of doing that,
In a week.
if weather permitting.
Whether it's not supposed to rain for at least 2 weeks.
So it's raining right now.
No, it's not enough to do anything.
So, if they can get the trucks in there, weather permitting, he will have it done.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Nixon.
Next is ordinance 1807, amending the 2025 budget for street and sanitation funds. All right, we have a motion to place it on first
Second.
reading, and we have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary.
Aye.
McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman.
Aye.
Mims.
Ordinance number 1807, an ordinance amending the 2025 fiscal budget, making modified appropriations and authorizing expenditures for operation of street and sanitation departments of the city of Jacksonville and for other purposes.
All right, questions, discussion, comments on 1807?
Mr. Chair, just so I'm reading this correctly, we estimated the budget would be about $4 million, $4.5 million on this, correct?
Come on up, Barb.
I'm just reading off the ordinance. And so, looks like we only dispersed about 2, is that correct?
Yes.
So that's why we're doing, okay, that's all I needed.
Okay, Laura, never mind. Stand here just in case. Any other questions or comments, discussion on it?
Did we take something out that caused a discrepancy?
Yeah, it was the West Main Street realignment we thought was going to be started last year, and it was not, correct? And so that's what's caused the discrepancy here.
And that money will carry on. Right now, it looks like it's gonna start early this year.
So why is this being brought after the 2026 budget has been adopted?
This was because of, it's an adjustment to the 25 budget, money that was not spent. That should have been, but was not. So this does not affect the 2026 budget per se. This is a correction for the 25. Did I explain that right, Laura? Okay. Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1807 on
Second.
first reading and suspend the rules, place on second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets. Rupel. McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve ordinance 1807 on second reading and suspend the rules and place on
Second.
third and final. Motion second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, entertain a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 1807 on this date.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Deets.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray. LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Ordinance 1807 is therefore passed.
And before we move on, quick question. The 2024 audit has not been yet presented to council. What's the timeline for that?
That's now the more question. Have we heard the timeline
2024
on
audit
when
timeline?
the previous year's time? What's that?
Next month?
Next month? Okay.
Why is there a delay? When is it usually?
The delay is due to the single audit that we're required to do for federal money that we receive. It was discovered that it wasn't reported correctly in 2023, and so it's required a lot of effort for me and Adam, and also for the auditor, just to go back and to recreate everything from 2023. It's from FEMA for the tornado. And it's difficult going and getting all that information together. So that's why there's been a delay. It's not, and he talked to the mayor about it, it's not anything that we've done wrong. It's not a major thing, but it has to be done. They have to do the 2023 before they can finish the 2024.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right.
We need an emergency clause on this ordinance?
No, we did not.
Okay. Thank you.
Next is annual review regarding organization or organizing and governing body per ACA 1443-501 from Council Member McCoy.
Yes, thank you. So this agenda item is to satisfy that requirement that the governing body assemble at the first meeting of the year to organize. This is our annual opportunity to review how we are structured, confirm our procedures, and determine whether there are any changes that are needed before adopting the rules for this new year. Last year, we adopted rules and procedures. Today's question is whether those procedures still serve us or whether any changes are needed before we adopt them for 2026.
Are there comments, questions, concerns with that? If there aren't any, we will voice vote to approve what we have been using the previous year, saying that we are going forward in 2026 with what was agreed to for 2025. Are there any concerns with anything from the previous rules?
I do. I have two items I would like council to at least think about and consider for 2026. One procedural enhancement I'd like us to consider is allowing council to designate certain meetings or portions of meetings as working sessions when an agenda item requires a deeper dive, such as budget development, such as when we get to November. That meeting, oftentimes, many of us up here, we're all invited, but not everyone is able to come out and attend, and that working session meeting would allow us to have that deeper dive discussion so that all council members have the opportunity to ask questions and are able to make an informed decision about the budget. That's one of the items I'd like us to consider before we just go ahead and adopt it. And then the second one is considering a resolution to ensure that council is invited to all budget meetings. I think we were invited to all except a couple, but so that we are invited to all of the department budget meetings, that's something that we can consider adding into the document as well. So those are the two items I'd like council to consider.
I will say, it was my understanding on the first item, any working meeting can be called. We don't have to specifically have that in. That is an option that is available at any point in time. We just have to notify the press that that working meeting is going to take place.
We can add it in there, but yes, we can call that, but I do want us to consider that, because currently we don't, and sometimes there are times when we don't have as much on an agenda, and one of those meetings of our monthly could be used as a working session just to discuss even further whatever the item is that may be coming up. So those are the two things, but we don't have to take action if we wanted to consider it, because if we do need to change anything, we would have Stephanie to change that and have it ready at the next meeting.
So with that, is everybody in understanding of what Councilmember McCoy explained? So, I'm trying to think.
Is anything in this modified from different than 2025?
Nothing has been changed, no.
Other than your
Other than the two
suggestions?
items, yep.
So right now, for parliamentary procedure and course of action, what would happen, because for the changes to be made, would have to be placed in ordinance, which would have to be voted on at the next meeting, so.
That's correct.
So,
Well, if
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
understanding, Councilmember McCoy is only asking for potential working meetings if there's not a lot on the agenda. I mean, we can place that on the agenda.
Okay.
Mhm.
We can adopt as is tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about we can add that the resolution can be second, Derek, to this, as far as us ensuring that we are invited to all budget,
Yeah,
department budget
the
meetings?
resolution will be a standalone document. It won't need to be incorporated.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so no action has to be taken now, or you're saying
We
is?
can adopt it.
We can adopt it, and then I will draft a resolution for the budget meeting invitations.
So if it is a resolution for that, do we have to do a roll call now, or just voice vote?
Voice vote.
Okay. All right, all in favor of adopting or taking on these two changes to the procedures for the year that Councilmember McCoy has presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay?
No.
I need a motion and second. Oh, we're gonna do
No.
consensus?
Yes.
Okay.
So, 9-1.
And Ray?
Councilmember Ray.
No.
Yes. Okay. Taken care of. Then next on the agenda, we have discussion regarding annual planning commission and city council joint meetings. Councilmember McCoy.
That's something that, looking at, as far as I know, I will connect with the planning commissioner to talk about items that come up. But one of the things that I've been told that used to happen, or at some point was something that was done, was an annual planning meeting with, and I think, Adam, you also brought forward that maybe the council and all get together to just kind of have that planning meeting, which could be used as one of the meetings where we look at, consider reinstating the annual planning commission meeting to include our city engineer to strengthen our alignment and transparency. For example, such as what came up today in our ordinance for the variance. I called him just to talk about it, and sometimes going out to the property, but I think that'll just help us to better understand what's coming forward for those of us that may not know, that are new, that are still learning, but it is a good opportunity for us to talk about the future plans of the city and what council would like to see.
Any other discussion or comments or thoughts?
Yes, sir. I'd like to bring something up on that. So,
Go ahead.
every city council member should receive what I receive since I'm on the planning commission, Board of Adjustments and Planning Commission. So every one of y'all should be getting it. If you don't, you need to give it to Emily and she needs to get it. It is our responsibility, because we're our city council member and we serve all the city of Jacksonville. It's your responsibility, just like it's mine, to go out and check them properties out, to know what you're doing, to know what's coming up. And if we don't, that's on us. But you get a copy just like I do, and I very seldom miss meetings for that reason, but I go out and visit them all. So I'm just bringing that up, that it would be good to know what comes to us, so you already know.
I think that's a good point that you bring out as well, but also that sitting down to have those open dialogues to just see where we're going as a city is also a good practice. Something to consider.
Yes, ma'am. Any other discussion? All right. Thank you. Next, moving to Resolution 854, support of reviving the state-run federal surplus property program administered by the state of Arkansas.
Move to replace resolution 854 on first reading.
It's just one reading on this.
Yes.
So,
It's okay.
yeah. All right, we have a motion to read for 854, for resolution 854. We have a motion and need a second.
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Deeds.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary. McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
Aye.
Resolution number 854, a resolution in support of receiving the state-run federal surplus property program administered by the state of Arkansas and for other purposes.
Move to adopt resolution 854.
We have a motion to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Deeds.
Aye.
Rupel.
Question.
Do we have a lot of surplus? That come through?
We have from time to time. It varies. This is kind of out of order because we have a motion and a second on the table, but there wasn't time for discussion. This program is being supported by the Arkansas Municipal League, and they have asked all the cities and municipalities to support this, to show support of bringing this program back. And so that is what we are doing at this point in time. We're supporting the AML in this initiative. So with that being said,
One more, city attorney, are we reviving or receding?
It's my understanding the program had ceased at some point, yeah, so it's going to be revived.
Okay, revived,
Yeah.
okay.
and like I said, this is not us doing this. This is just a show of support for it. So,
Aye.
sorry. All right. Councilmember Ripple, continuing.
Councilmember Deeds.
Aye.
Rupel.
Aye.
McCleary.
Aye.
McCoy.
Aye.
Ray.
Aye.
LeBron.
Aye.
Moss.
Aye.
Twitty.
Aye.
Kinman. Mims.
All right, thank you very much. Resolution 854 is passed. Next, we have Planning Commission appointments. We have brought forward the appointments of Jeff Twitty, Billy Hall, and Keith Allen Walker for terms to expire 1/1/29.
So move the appointments.
We have a motion and a second to approve the appointments of those three for Planning Commission. That's voice.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of the appointments of those three, please let it be known by saying aye.
Oh, excuse me. We had questions. Who is Keith Allen Walker?
Alan, would you stand up, please?
Can we do one by one instead of all three at once?
They can, yes, we can do that. Yeah.
I'd like to do one by one.
I have a motion and second on the floor. Are you withdrawing that motion and second?
Who made the motion?
I'm reading that
Reading
motion
motion.
to
Oh, read.
approve. I second. Joy seconded to approve all of the planning commission appointments as a group.
With the motion and second, you would have to withdraw that for parliamentary procedure for us to continue with discussion. Are you willing to remove your second?
No.
All right.
Okay.
If the person who made the motion is not willing to bring that back, then we have to run that vote and then do anything else following that. So, we have a motion and a second for the approval of these three. So with that being said, it would be a voice vote of all in favor of approving this as is. Please let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
For those opposed, let it be known by saying nay.
Yay.
I need the nays. That would be
Mike
Deeds,
Councilmember Deeds.
McCoy, and one more.
Was there?
Who's this two?
Just
There's
two.
two.
Mhm.
None on this end?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well then, with that being carried, then planning commission, there is, those three are appointed. Next is appointments to the Board of Adjustment for appointments of Jim Moore and Ken Arnold to the unexpired terms of Billy Hall and Jeff Twitty, set to expire 1/1 of '28.
So move the
So
appointment.
who is Ken?
Well,
I'll make a motion, we do them individually.
Thank you. Second.
Okay,
It doesn't take a motion
to,
to do them individually.
okay. All right, so, and there was not a second for the other one, the Councilmember Ray was trying, they both, I mean, was it a tie? I mean.
What do we have on the table?
We're looking at the appointment of Jim Moore.
Jim Moore
Yes,
and,
but what has been said so far?
do I?
I said, who's made a motion of what?
We were bringing forth the appointments of Jim Moore, Ken Arnold, and to the unexpired terms that was read out. Councilmember Ray and then Councilmember Rupel, both at the same time. Councilmember Ray was, I believe, going to make a motion to accept as presented. Councilmember Rupel was going to make a motion, ask that they be dealt with separately. Both came at the same time.
So now we'll look at the appointment of Jim Moore to the Board of Adjustment for a term to expire
Correct.
1/1 of 2020.
So, we are, what Madam Clerk just said, we are looking at, this would be for the appointment of Jim Moore to the Board of Adjustment. So,
Need a motion and second.
I make a motion to accept Jim Moore to the Board of Adjustment.
I'll
there's
second it.
a motion and a second. So, all in favor of the adoption or motion of appointment of Jim Moore to the Board of Adjustment, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, let it be known by saying nay.
Nay.
So you're good.
That motion carries.
Okay, then secondly, it will be the appointment, motion to accept the appointment of Ken Arnold to Board of Adjustments.
Is Ken Arnold here?
Is Ken Arnold here?
He is.
He's not present.
Not here.
Is he not present?
I don't see him present.
Okay.
I thought he was here.
I don't know Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Arnold is a resident in Stonewall Homeowner Association. I will let the council know that it is by communication to me, of September of 2025, that he did email and let, us HOA members know that he would be, selling his house and moving in 69 months. So I was a little shocked at at this appointment, to come to our board, given a word from him in writing that he was moving.
Moving
So-
where?
Out of Jacksonville, I know for sure.
So why would we put somebody on the,
Does the Board of Adjustment know that?
Do what?
Does the Board of Adjustment know that?
No,
Madam Clerk.
only recently has that come to light.
do you have that in writing?
I spoke with him.
I do, I have it via email, via our,
Yeah, when I spoke with him, he did not tell me that, so I wasn't aware.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking
Well, in the meeting past, Councilmember McCoy said people needed to be here before they got presented. So basically, we need to go back to that. He's not here at the meeting, so.
Well, first of all, that was a suggestion. We don't have it that they have to be here. There may be reasons why somebody isn't here tonight.
It is preferred.
They need to be, but that doesn't mean they have to be.
It is preferred that they would be here, but that is
Yes.
not written, that is.
And did
But-
anything go out to these people to say, we really like y'all to be here tonight?
about. Yes, I
Yes.
spoke with Ken Arnold personally.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, there was a reason he's not here. I don't know him.
All right,
so.
well, right now, there is a motion and, was there a motion and second for the adoption of Ken Arnold?
I had a motion to accept the appointment, but no second.
Okay, is there a second for the approval of appointment?
I said
Okay, Reading Ray is,
Did I make the motion?
You can't move one second.
no.
You have to move or second to make your vote.
Oh, Joy did the first, so there has not been any.
No, Joy was a, Joy was a.
All right, so there is a motion for, is there a second? All right, if there is no second, then it is dead on the floor due to lack of second. So that will be, that seat right now currently will go vacant until there is another person who was.
Mr. Mayor, can we have Susan reach out to him and, let him know? He told her he was gonna be here tonight, right? okay, and then reach out to him, maybe there's a reason, but also that we've got notice that he's gonna be moving out of Jacksonville, so it's kinda hard to put somebody that's already said they're moving out of Jacksonville on one of our boards, so.
All right.
If you could reach out to him, I'd appreciate it.
I agree.
Thank you.
I will take care of that.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Can we do something, via the citywide, if it was done, I believe, if it wasn't done in 2025, it's done by 2024, but on the government page was an opportunity for our residents to, if they're interested in being on any of our
It is still there.
appointed boards, can we re-push that out? Since this
Yeah,
being
it is
done
still
here?
there. We can do it through social media just to advertise that, but yes, that mechanism is still in place.
I think that allows too, just for, possibly some new faces and new voices. I do see we do have one new, face tonight on the planning commission, so.
Well, we would've had two, but he didn't show up, so.
Well,
Susan, can you like explain how we get these names or how?
I'm just kidding, go ahead.
We're asking,
Yeah.
where it came from.
Yeah, I mean, you do have people that leave one board and they go to another board, and it seems like we're, swapping. We do get new people, and I do know that we have said publicly in one of our meetings that if you're interested, let it be known, and nobody's come to you that I know of. But anyway, if you could explain that.
The planning commission and the board of adjustment are sister boards. They do share members, and they are moved from time to time back and forth. This does not prohibit new blood from coming on, but it does allow us to keep a level of experience on both boards. And that is, those two boards would be the only boards in the city where a level of experience needs to be protected because of the types of decisions they make regarding the development of the city of Jacksonville. Some of these decisions can have, catastrophic
With that said,
consequences if they're.
yeah, well, with that said, I'd like to just remind everybody, we got a big city that everybody needs to have a voice. And right now, I'm just gonna tell you, on one of them, we have 3 people that live in the same subdivision. So that's a very, that's a very close-knit group. So you got 3 on the planning commission, that's there in a subdivision. So we're not getting everybody. There's gotta be some other people in some other areas that are interested in serving on this city board.
And Mike, that's been said. All they have to do is come forward.
Yeah.
It's been said during a meeting. Why, wait a minute, if you want to do the job, why are we going out looking for you? If you want to do the job, come forward. It's not us looking for them. They need to come forward if they're interested in the job and let Susan or the mayor know.
So how were the ones that are added tonight, did they come forward or did we go look for them?
I have
Did
no
we
idea.
ask them
I don't pick
to
them.
be a member of that board or commission?
I asked one person.
So therefore, that says that if we do what we do for one, we do for all. If we ask one, then we can't.
Well, I'm not saying you can't go out and ask. I mean, Mike said, go out and look for somebody. No, I'm not gonna look, but if I come across somebody that I think would be great on one of those boards, most definitely, all of us could do that.
Absolutely. To your point.
Susan or Mayor Elmore, is it a conflict of interest if, our chair of our planning commission also sits on the board of adjustment? While I do appreciate the work that Chairman Moore does, and it was a lot of kudos about tonight, is that a conflict of interest or not?
The chairman will not.
He's not the chair.
He's no longer on the
Yes,
planning.
he's rotated off of planning commission.
He's taking a respite.
I apologize for my no vote.
I wanted that to come up first so they know why you were maneuvering. Why you were maneuvering to the Board of Adjustment due to that respite period that's required.
Yes. Yeah. No, he's not serving on both. He's not still chair.
May I admit my vote?
Nope.
All right, well.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
Madam
yes.
Clerk, I do have a question. An unreadiness with this. Mr. Hall did not get a second, so, I'm sorry, Mr. Arnold did not get a second. What does that do in terms of eligibility for being on the commission? It did not come to a vote. It did not get a second. So what does that do?
Motion dies for lack of a second.
Yeah. That's all that is.
Part
It
of
does.
the procedure. Motion dies for lack of a
Yes,
second.
if there was if he wanted to come back, or if the council wanted to entertain that appointment, yes, that could happen again.
That was my question.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it can come back, but this particular, it dies for lack of a second.
Are there any items of new business?
I have a walk-on item. So during the holidays, we know that our trash collection dates, our days oftentimes switch. And I don't know about other neighborhoods, but I know on my street, I was running around knocking and pulling folks' trash down because they did not know, because they don't follow us on social media or any of those things, to know that they needed to take their trash out. So that's one more week that they then have to wait, which means the trash is overflowing. And so in looking for a solution, I was sent what Sherwood puts out. Now here we used to do this. I'm gonna pass these around for those areas that are affected by that holiday. That's a simple sign that tells you that your trash, just simply says garbage pickup will be on Friday. And that way, when they turn into their neighborhood or their street, they would see that it's inexpensive. Sherwood, this is from Sherwood. Who will put this up? That would fall on hopefully our team to put that up. I put my own up because I was out knocking at doors and taking the trash cans down and telling people, sorry I touched your trash, but I don't want it overflowing, right? So this is just something to consider that we could do to just help with that, because not everyone is on social media. They aren't following, clearly not. I was asking them when I spoke to them, hey, did you know? They're like, no, you didn't see this on social media? I don't follow the page. You didn't see this anywhere else? I didn't look. So that's just something else that helps to possibly keep our areas clean, because once that trash is spilling over, now we run the risk of it falling out, blowing over, and now we got trash in our respective neighborhoods. So just something I wanted to bring up.
Something else that maybe the city does that people don't realize, they do have an open garbage truck over there outside. So when your garbage is overflowing and you miss it, you're able, 10 days to take it over there and dump it out.
If only they did that. If only they do that. That's not how it works.
Yeah. No, yeah, we do.
Don't say it, but people.
Yeah, I would say also, this would be an opportunity to put out, if somebody has not signed up for Code Red, these calls go out, through our Code Red system, announcing, hey, trash pickup will be one day later, or
Is Code Red back up?
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell, so all the ways that people get notified, so we put out a holiday schedule a year in advance. This year, one of the things I'd like to do is go ahead and expend the money to try to send out, I want to mail out that holiday schedule on one side, and kind of a reiteration of all our bullet point rules and stuff on that. That's something I'd like to try to do within this next month. But one of the so we advertise on social media, we put the holiday schedule on the map, we advertise on our electronic reader boards, and we put it on the water bill. And you think that would be enough, but people say, I get a digital water bill, I get my water drafted, I don't drive around town. So our catch-all has always been the all-call that we put out, the Code Red. It has been down for quite a while. Brian's working with them. That's not that's not us, it's them. And we've had a lot of calls saying, well, I didn't get a call this year. And unfortunately, that's nothing we can control. They got hacked, and that's why there was probably more confusion. That coupled with, this is one of our unique years where you have Christmas and New Year's, or Christmas and Christmas Eve on a Wednesday and Thursday, so that prompts us to run a day early, which is kind of unusual. Typically, we're a day delayed. So we had one day we ran early and one day we ran late, and that only happens once in a great while. So that kind of a unique scenario, coupled with the fact that Code Red was down, and that's usually the ones where we catch a lot of the elderly that don't follow social media or have water drafted. And unfortunately, that system was down this year. So that's why we do have signs that we used to put up, banner signs for the slew of Monday holidays that come around, that we put, trash one day delayed. And we kind of abandoned that when we had got all the digital and media stuff, because it wasn't serving a purpose. And honestly, it's very labor intensive to go around and hammer those down. And then Kevin House was getting mad at me for covering up Parks and Rec signs with trash signs and stuff.
That's
Wasn't intentional, but that happened a time or two. But anyway.
Mr. Whitlow, even though, I know it goes out on the water bill, and even though it's bank drafted, they still get a bill.
Yeah.
It's still in there.
Yeah,
So,
they-
and I know they go out to everyone that
They're,
has.
they're like me though. If that money's, if I'm not worried about the money, it's there. They're not reading it. So, this day and age, so and we've tried to encourage people. Social media is the best, most, up to date thing. So just we're on this line. Something I've considered that I'd probably like to do currently. No one comes to us when they sign up for sanitation. They go to the water company. Water company had, we have over time handed flyers out to them with all our rules and stuff. And it just, communication is not great. Water company tries to do that, but they don't always get their run out. So I would actually like to kind of change my policy and have a sanitation users agreement, just like they'd come in and sign up for their water users agreement. I'd like to make water tell them, now you got to go to Public Works and sign up, and at that time we would at least get FaceTime with the people and say, here's our holiday schedule. Here's our list of rules. Cans got to be 4 feet apart. You can take compostable bags or recycle centers down here. We encourage you to recycle, and go through that. And I think that because we got so many, we got a lot of rentals, we got a lot of turnover in those rentals, and that facilitates, a lot of new people every year that aren't getting the rules and stuff if they don't follow social media, if they don't know where to get. So that's something that I'm considering. If anybody wants to give feedback on that, if it's too cumbersome, that's pretty standard other places. If you go sign up for a service, you got to go to that place. So that is something that would help along those lines too. It's just getting those initial rules and notices and holiday schedules out there.
Thank you. Appreciate
Sure.
it.
Is it a timeline to get Code Red back up?
Brian,
Sir,
he asked if there was a timeline on the Code Red restoration.
they have done some jury rigging, and what they've told us is like for weather reporting and stuff, to actually contact the different federal agencies. They're telling me sometime, literally this.
Okay, so they don't know. I mean, there's no.
They got hit hard. In fact, I suspected they had a cyber attack, and we actually had to get Chazzy and I to get them to finally come up with, hey, here's what really happened.
Okay.
And that was a phone call about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So yeah.
Is there alternate services? I don't know.
Speak with Kevin.
Mayor, what's the process to get the water envelopes to get those stuff with the holidays, get the 2026 schedule?
That would actually be a water commission, water department question. Is that something you would like to address?
To address, what is your question?
My question is, I know like our recent water bill had the upcoming increase rate. So could we possibly get something to our homeowners next month, our residents and everyone, what the holiday schedule is? Because it shouldn't cost no extra money.
Now, we can provide the material. We're not the water department. Water department does not fall under our purview. But we could give them that if they were willing to stuff envelopes, and I don't know if they have an automated system. I don't know how they do it. That's a Jake Short question.
We have done that before. We've got a process in place because we do that with some annual FEMA notices and stuff that we send out. So that mechanism is already, that we can do. There is cost associated with it to producing 9,000, paper copies and folding it. I think it is an automated. If it's got, there is a limited number. Like if we want to have a short statement, we can do that. Trash pickup is 1 day delayed, this date. So that can actually go physically on the water bill and no cost to us as long as we notify them. But when we're talking about an additional handout, there is cost of printing, folding, and stuffing. But that's something that my office is willing to do, to work with water to do that. So
I'd never see it. I don't look at my water bill.
yeah.
I think I heard
It's
that
auto
said
drafted.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
we try our hardest to do it, but
this is the easiest.
People gonna do what they wanna do anyway.
I'll print some.
If they see me put my trash out, they don't not gonna put their trash out. They said they'll miss the day and say, I missed my day. I said, did you see my trash out? You should put the trash out like I did. But they won't do that. They won't do it. Whatever we do, people gonna miss it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that, no other old business or?
No, I was just, we lost a stellar man of
That's right.
Jacksonville this week.
Yes.
Everybody needs to keep Peacocks in their prayers, because, you know, he was a long-time member and did a lot of good stuff for Jacksonville, and he will be greatly missed, but yes.
For those of you who may not have heard, Jim Peacock passed away this past Sunday, and the arrangements are there's visitation, today's Thursday, tomorrow night at First Baptist Church, and funeral will be Saturday morning, 10 a.m. at First Baptist Church. So, do we know what?
Visitation is from 5 o'clock to 7
Five. Visitation's 5 to 7 tomorrow night. So, yes, he was a good man. So, thank you, Councilmember Deeds, for bringing that out. All right, we are adjourned. Y'all have a great night.